guys. Um, Tonight I wanted to make a video about negativity, but hopefully it will be in a good way. And to make it happier and hopefully relaxing, I thought it would be good to bring this into our space.
In reality, it's mostly because I attempted to record a video eating Skittles, but my computer rebooted, so I lost most of the footage.
So I added this. I'm sitting on the floor right now, and I added this material on top of the carpet.
I don't know what it's called, but it's used to ship electronics, and it's this very soft, smooth, kind of a thick paper. So, since I'm gonna be spreading the Skittles all over the surface, I figured I wouldn't do it on the carpet, but here, because it's clean. Hopefully you'll also enjoy the noises that it makes.
But I also have this one that I have never tried before, which are the
Sour ones, and I've never tried them before, so apart from talking, I'll probably be doing some chewing noises, and I hope you don't mind that. I hope you like the sounds as well. I know not everybody likes them, so I'll try not to do it all the time.
well, so what I wanted to talk about is really how negativity affects us physically more than anything else. And sometimes we don't realize that because not everybody has the same symptoms. And negativity is something that can affect us in the long term. And we'll start having health problems, and we just won't know the cause of it.
But negativity can take an impact on our bodies because of the chemicals we release when we have bad experiences, when we're bitter because of a bad situation we're involved in. And sometimes we don't fight it, and we don't try to stay out of it. It just takes over, and it's very hard to get out of it sometimes.
So I thought it would be important to have this video as a reminder of how bad it can be for our bodies. And maybe just to talk about a few ways of being positive, trying to stay away from all that bitterness that doesn't really do any good to us. Sometimes it's good to release some tension, to release some anger, and it can be rewarding in a proper way.
But being negative and bitter about it would lead us nowhere. In the end, we will be stuck with the same issue we have.
If we don't treat negativity, it will eventually take a toll on our lives and on our health.
Because negativity can cause stress,
stress is necessary sometimes, and it's normal, as it helps to set our body and mind in motion to
react to certain situations.
and those certain situations can be self-defense mechanisms sometimes. So it's not all that bad. The problem is, as with everything in life,
Excess. Negativity can cause many health problems like diabetes, depression, even heart attack or stroke.
we just don't take it seriously sometimes. Like I said, we let it take over. If we don't reduce stress and negativity in our lives, it will definitely take an impact
On our bodies. And I thought of talking about this because I know we all go through stressful times, and stress can lead to negativity, but also negativity can lead to stress. And from experience, when I was younger, I used to have anxiety issues, and it took a toll on my body because every time I get anxious, or even unconsciously, I would get really bad stomach aches.
I know for some of you this may sound funny, but a lot of people suffer from IBS,
Which stands for irritable bowel syndrome.
it's just basically inflammation problems in your stomach, which can lead to really bad cramps. And basically what negativity does to our bodies is release hormones, chemicals, and generate an imbalance of hormones.
And it leads to body inflammation. It can be anywhere. Body inflammation is never good.
But as we know, the good news is that it is very easy to undo the effect it has on you.
And it all begins with trying a little positive attitude.
And I know, of course, when we're having a bad time, it's really hard to be positive. But that's
What we need to learn to control. Sometimes when you're in a bad situation, what you want to do is stop before you make any rash decision. Give it some time and go back to that thought and decision you were about to make in time.
we all know from experience that when we are in a bad mood, when we're in a bad place, we cannot make decisions. At least, not thinking of all the consequences in the future. So I think the best thing we can do to understand how negativity affects us individually is to
Take a good look at yourself. Understand, get to know yourself.
see what are the factors in your life that are creating negativity.
it's not just a situation that generates negativity. It can be a combination of things like
being judgmental, which a lot of people have that problem, and it doesn't make them bad people. We are all judgmental at some point in life when maybe we
have judgmental thoughts, but it's the way we behave after those thoughts that can make a difference.
Another cause of negativity is that you don't take enough time to relax yourself.
But hey, if you're here, you're doing great, because this is supposed to be relaxing. And that's one thing we all have in common who listen to ASMR videos and make ASMR videos. We are a step closer to getting rid of negativity by relaxing.
You can also be very negative towards life if you have been hurt in the past. And you cannot let go of that hurt and sometimes anger.
Sometimes it can also be your job. Maybe your job is causing you stress, or maybe just not what you like doing and you're not happy.
Sometimes, even though I'm talking about how negativity can impact your health, sometimes not having good health can trigger negativity. And of course, which really doesn't help that I have this candy here. A bad diet and lack of exercise can bring negativity because it can affect our moods in a bad way. And we all know this.
But I am very good about eating habits, and this is really an exception for me. So I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying that I thought I'd bring a little bit of color and sweetness to this video, because I don't want it to be entirely negative.
So, if you don't mind, I am going to open one of them and eat. So, I hope you don't mind crinkly sounds, because this is going to be crinkly. Do you see all those colors? I'm just gonna spread some of them right here. I like the little clicking sounds that it makes. And this is a candy that I've had in Argentina, and it's one of the few brands
that I have found here that were imported to Argentina when I was younger, and I always had my favorite colors.
and it's mostly all of them except the yellow ones. So I'm gonna take the yellow ones out.
Does not mean that I'm not gonna eat them, I'm just gonna put them aside for now.
And the orange ones. So basically my favorites are the red ones, purple ones. And the green ones didn't used to be. These ones are new, I didn't have them before. I've tried them not recently, but they're kind of new for me. So, we're going to be adding a little bit of sweetness to this conversation. And another thing I brought here is club soda. I love club soda just by itself.
I like the sounds that it makes when you open a can. And a lot of people say they don't like club soda by itself. It's good to mix with other beverages. But I really like it by itself, especially when I'm having candy.
So I'll leave that one there. Hopefully the microphone picks up the sound because I also like it. And so, going back to the topic of tonight, like I said, I think the best thing you can do if you think it's hard for you to rid of negativity in your life is to take a good look at yourself.
Take a look at your life, what you're doing currently, anything from your work, your job, your studies, your family, your friends, habits.
Knowing yourself is just the best way to detect where this negativity is coming from. How can it be impacting your life? So, with many things, acknowledging them is the first step to fixing them.
You could write down things that you're not pleased with or you would like to change in your life. But the only thing that will help, the only way that would help, is if you're completely honest. So you can make this, you can write this down somewhere safe that you can only read, so you can be as honest as possible.
Even if those things seem insignificant, just write them down. You'd be surprised after you write them down, maybe check on them a few days later.
Sometimes this way you can begin to see patterns in your behavior. And I think the best thing about writing them down is that you can prioritize the things or behaviors that you need to get rid more quickly.
Just to give an example, this could be something you notice in your life it could be a certain person that maybe creates a great deal of drama, stress, or negativity.
And unfortunately, sometimes we don't realize, but we are surrounded by negative people because negativity attracts negativity. But the good thing is that positivity attracts positivity.
So sometimes it's an easy way to see who you're hanging out with, see what emotions that people bring into your life.
I'm not saying that you gotta get rid of them if they're causing negativity in your life, but sometimes a good talk, an honest talk with other people can maybe cool things. Or maybe if it's a good friend of yours who's not, or has been not, having a good time lately, and you feel like it's affecting you too, you can talk to them and maybe just be honest with them and distance yourself, but by telling them that you can't handle negativity in your life, but that you're there to help. Because if they want help, if they need help, it's a positive thing to be there.
But we often run into people who will cry and ask for help, but will really not listen. Sometimes people get stuck in cycles, and as much as we try to help sometimes, unfortunately in certain situations it's just better to stay away.
Life somehow will teach them in other ways, or maybe other people who have been in a similar situation will be able to help. Again, I'm not saying to turn away on your friends when they need you.
But it should be easy to detect when you're offering help to a person and they just don't take the advice. And I know it may sound mean, or I don't know. I think we could all relate and think of an example of a person who has asked for help, but just nothing suits them. In that case, it's just better for them to see how it's impacting their lives and try to open their eyes in a different way.
If these people are just doing more harm than good to you, then you need to rethink.
You would be amazed at how this one little thing can help a great deal to reduce the stress and negativity in your life. One other thing, and I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, but one very important thing is to develop or improve your diet and health through better exercise and eating healthy. Which, it's the good old thing that doctors say and a lot of people say, but it's hard to take care of a good diet, and it's hard to exercise when we're so busy.
But think of it as good fuel.
this is gonna sound like I'm a hypocrite, but eliminating sugar is the first thing you can do to improve your diet. Not eliminating it forever, but everything in moderation. Oh, look at these ones. They're stuck together. I'm gonna have to eat them. So diet, exercise, looking around to see who you're spending time with. It's things that can start bringing a lot of positivity back into your life. As like a giant light can begin to shine through the dark clouds.
And it will be warm and energizing.
Like with everything in life, these things take time.
But when you can eliminate most negativity in your life,
You will begin to see things clearer. And you will achieve better success. Not necessarily in sometimes when people talk about success, they refer to maybe money, career. But love, finding love, can be success. At the very least, you will be better suited to handle the negative factors a whole lot easier. Because getting rid of negativity doesn't mean that it's just gonna be gone. It's gonna be there because it happens. But you will deal with it a lot better. Sometimes I see that with social media, there's a lot of people who release anger, frustration
through social media.
It only makes sense. When we're angry, we want to release that somehow. And writing about it and sharing it with your friends, it's a kind of an easy way to do it. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. We all go through it. And that can be actually a good indication of how you're doing in life. Because sometimes you can go back and read your statuses and see what how you wrote that and what you shared with other people. A couple of times, a few years ago, I would go back
to what I posted, and there was a pattern of negative things in my life that I was not necessarily sharing. But the mood and the way I wrote things down make it sound like I was not happy.
It's also great to have friends online who, can talk to, chat about your problems and share experiences. But one advice I would give is that if you really are in trouble, yes, it's good to seek for help, even if it's online and even if you don't know the people well. But it is important to seek help in person sometimes.
And some people have a fear, or there's a cultural thing about seeing a therapist that, at least what I've seen since my stay in the United States, is that going through
say to that? It. Because seeing a therapist is a sign of strength that you want to get better. I did it for many years, and I can happily say that I am able to, most of the times, control my moods, my anxiety. It was an investment in my life, and I would go back and do it again if I had to. So, if you feel like
you need to talk, you don't feel well, you feel sad, or not sad, but just have these negative outbursts and you're bitter towards certain things in life,
or if you're anxious, it's not bad to go seek for help. So that's another advice, I guess. One thing that can lead to negativity is holding grudges. Feeling bitter will not only affect your mood, it can make you physically ill too. And this is according to studies and my personal experience.
I used to get so anxious all the time that I would get these stomach aches, and it reached the point where I had to start going to the doctor. And I won't go into detail, but it took a while to take care of.
And sometimes this negativity is so unconscious that it manifests only through physical pains, problems. So, what can boost the mood? Exercise, diet, looking at yourself, look at who you're hanging out with. It sounds funny, but sometimes walking upright. It may sound obvious, but if you stand tall with confidence and smile, it will immediately make you feel better sometimes. Make you more confident. I'm not saying to fake an attitude, but it can help. You should also know when to take time out.
Sometimes I have too much work or too much study to do, and sometimes it's not easy to take time out. So this one's not an easy one always.
But you know what? I used to say, I am so busy I cannot take time out. And I'm the same with work, and I was the same with studies. But you know what I found? I used to procrastinate a lot, and I didn't realize.
And with some work I became more efficient, setting times to do things.
Something that's often overlooked, but it can be there. So, get active too, a little bit. I'm not saying go work out, go at a gym and work out, but maybe at least 20 minutes a day. Go for a walk, run if you can, go jogging, walk around a park. And this will increase your cardio levels, which makes your blood flow better with more oxygen. And of course, this is very good for the brain because that's how it works.
Also, being outside in nature, it can be really, really good for you to breathe fresh air, to explore different areas and be in touch with nature.
It may sound cliche, but can you imagine yourself close to a waterfall, hearing the sound of the water flowing and falling, looking just at nature?
Nothing more than nature. No streets, no cars, no pollution, not a lot of people around.
Also laugh, be goofy, try to enjoy humor. It's very healthy to have those moments where you can just cry by laughing, and friends are a good way to laugh. Be social, don't stay all day home alone. Try to make an effort to meet people. Laughing is really, really good. Seriously. Smiling and laughing whenever you can, it actually increases the oxygen as well. And it reduces the release of stress hormones.
I think the stress hormone involved here is called cortisol.
And again, this can reduce body inflammation. Oops.
And this influences the body immune system too. So, getting rid of negativity will increase our immune system.
And it will give a chance for our bodies to defend themselves better. Also, if you're lucky enough to have someone who can give you a massage, it's really good, relaxing at a physical and an emotional level. All the things should lead to a mindful living, living in the moment, thinking about the future, but not constantly worrying about what you're going to do tomorrow or a year from now. I think this is one of the most essential lessons we can all learn, and it takes years. When we're truly in the moment, the past and the future can either merge or maybe cease to exist. I know a lot of people say live in the moment, and what do they mean really? And I think it's that.
Learning how to deal with things in the present, thinking about your future, but not constantly thinking and worrying about what you're going to be doing tomorrow, a month from now, or a year from now.
It can really set you free sometimes. Like I said earlier, I know it can be difficult when you're already in a bad position, in a bad situation, because emotions take over and it can drag us down if we don't do anything about it.
We need to cease the chatter in our heads that can consume us. Shutting down the brain, ceasing that constant
for living people. ASMR, if you're listening to this, it's a good thing, and I hope it is being relaxing for you, because to me this is part of having a positive attitude in life, to being able to relax, feeling these tingles that can help me fall asleep.
So, going back to my original topic, negativity and how it can impact your health. You know it's real, you know it's there. And if you don't get physical symptoms right away, you will get them a year or two from now, or when you're older.
Try to be positive, and you will live longer and healthier. You are not going to solve anything by being negative. You're not going to solve anything by complaining. It's okay to release anger. It's okay. But just as it's okay to release that anger, it should be okay to try to control it and find the source of that anger, bitterness or negativity. So, I hope you have enjoyed this video and my little ramble about negativity because
this has been so important for me. I used to be a very judgmental person.
very negative. Sometimes we're stuck with circumstance or with things that have happened in the past, but those things don't define us. We can always be better. And that is what life is about. Learning. And maybe how to be better people. Better with each other. Hatred doesn't lead to good things. I hope you have enjoyed this video.
I hope maybe that you got some tingles from it and that you were able to relax.
And I would love to see you again soon. So please, if you have any comments, feedback, please leave them down below. I really do appreciate when I see those. Even if it's a negative criticism and I can make something constructive out of it, please go ahead.